Now you have to understand that after the shooting that we did a complete and thorough search of the entire area, the neighborhood, with our local partners. Everything was examined. If we found anyone that was in the woods cutting wood, they would be detained pending the investigation. So there were no other arrests that were associated with this investigation that occurred. Okay, so there were no other arrests that were associated with this investigation that occurred. Okay.
From WCBS of Ryan Lanza, who is 24 years old, Lanza, I should say, Ryan Lanza, 24, out of Hoboken, New Jersey, being led away in handcuffs. I imagine this is, as John described, authorities checking out all the family members. It's not clear whether he has any involvement. Is that right?
No, I think that's right, and I think we need to underline that. I mean, let's be absolutely clear about something. Because someone is walked out by police with handcuffs, that does not make them a suspect. It doesn't make them guilty of anything. This, I believe, is the police department doing all due diligence. I mean, imagine what they're thinking when they get to this house. They've got this horrible scene that's played out at this school. They don't know how many people are involved. They don't know who else may have been in on whatever kind of planning or plot there was. What they do know is this is somebody who's likely to know the suspect, the dead suspect, very, very well. In this case, a brother. So they've got a lot of questions for this person. They're going to approach that person very deliberately, very carefully. We don't know what transpired when they made the first approach, but this was kind of a come with us, we've got a few questions moment. There's nothing so far that we know of that makes this man, Ryan Lanza, complicit in this. There's no indication preliminarily or otherwise that says he had any real involvement in this. Now, it could turn out, Nora, that as they work this deeper, they might find out any number of things, including maybe he knew something about it.
When we ran down to the firehouse, there was a man pinned down to the ground with handcuffs on, and we thought that was the victim. We really didn't get a good glance at him because he was, like, there's a car blocking it. Plus, we were running really quick.
They did walk a guy out of the woods. I saw him walk a guy out earlier with handcuffs. He walked by us and said he didn't do it.
It was a grown man.
A grown man, yeah. He's sitting in the front of the police car over there now. So, I mean...
He didn't have a gun?
No, I didn't see any gun. Just had him handcuffed. And he walked by us and looked into parents' eyes and said, I didn't do it.
How was he dressed?
Camo pants with a dark jacket.
When it comes to receiving the idea or the word that there may have been a second shooter, what is it that makes law enforcement believe that is a possibility?
Well, they have an individual in custody who they're talking to, and I am told they are looking at this person as possibly a second shooter. Now that changes the dynamic here a little bit, which goes from, if in fact this turns out to be confirmed, it goes from a lone gunman scenario where somebody has this this argument with society and wants to take revenge against the most defenseless people in society, to a team of individuals who have gotten together and conspired to do something like this. Now, it's not that we haven't seen that before. I mean, as Bob Orr reminded us, if you go back to Columbine and you see Dylan and Klebold, Harris and Klebold, Dylan Harris and Klebold, you know, we've seen where people get together and act together because they feel isolated or aggrieved together. And this may be one of those cases where two people got together and made a horrific plan.